Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Please give us that 5-star review. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, wherever you do your potting. And make sure you follow us on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast. You can also reach us, BJ and Bill, the podcast.com, not .com, but I mean at gmail.com. We don't have no
yes,
.com.
BJ and Bill. Yeah. We're not that cool. We don't have our own .com, but
maybe we need one.
I mean, that sounds cool. That sounds very cool. Our very own I don't know. I don't know. It's expensive. Not expensive, but I mean, it's just a pain. What are you going to do with it?
I just don't have a Facebook page. It's free.
Yeah,
it's
the
.com cost.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot. It's $20 a year or something like. Believe me, I have a half dozen different websites that I either own for myself or that I run for friends or something like that. So, but it's a pain. It's more trouble than it's worth. So anyway, so how you doing, old man?
Not too bad. I could be better. I could be more wide awake and ready to go, but I'll take it as it is today.
I actually was up before my alarm today, which is weird for me, especially when I played pickleball last night. And I played with 3 young guys, younger, guys, couple of college students from University of Florida. Thankfully, they were young and in shape, but they weren't great pickleball players. So the old man was okay. This old man was okay to play. I didn't get blown out. Let's put it that way. I didn't get, embarrassed. So it was okay. So it was fun. I had a good time, but played late, came home, watched a terrible football game. Like BJ Odom said, it's preseason, who cares? And I should have said that, but I ended up watching the whole blowout of the Denver Broncos beating the Green Bay Packers in a preseason, meaningless preseason game. But there you go. So here I am.
The way I look
alive
at it,
and fairly well, whatever.
Yeah, the way I look at it, preseason game basically means players that are trying to get roster spots, and
yes.
You're not seeing the best of the best. You're seeing the guys that are trying their best to make the best.
Exactly.
So
and go ahead.
I was just going to say it's meaningless and it's a waste of time. But it's not a waste of time for those trying to make the team. But as far as making a prediction how well teams will do during the season, oh man, they had a terrible, I guess you wouldn't call it spring, but preseason, yeah. They're going to be terrible. And then they turn around and they're great. Or they had a great, preseason, and you go, oh man, they're going to be awesome. And then they suck. And
I've noticed it more this year than in years past. Well, for starters, preseason is only 3 weeks now, 3 games. It used to be 4 or even more, 3 games. And the starting quarterbacks do not play. Like on Saturday, I was all excited. Ooh, Jacksonville's playing Tampa Bay. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence didn't even play. Baker Mayfield did not play. I'm like, great. Oh, how exciting. Not. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, it's just like watching a scrimmage.
It's exactly like watching a scrimmage. It's exactly like that. So yeah, not impressed. Not impressed.
Well, why take someone you're paying millions of dollars to perform?
Yeah.
And having them get hurt with a game that doesn't even matter.
Yes, I get it. I do. It's a balancing act between you want the guy to get some good practice and to have some game kind of practice rather than just be out there. But again, like you said, something happens to your star quarterback in a meaningless preseason game. It's like, season over before it even begins. Okay, great. Whatever. So.
And then, of course, yesterday, I thought I'd watch a little NASCAR. 2-hour delay because it rained, and then they started it, and then, they got, the first leg in of the race, 2 more legs to go. and the rain begins to fall again. And so when we get off this podcast on a Monday morning, as we always record on Mondays,
Yes.
I'll probably flip on the TV and maybe watch the last 2 quarters of the race.
Now, do you have it on tape, or is it, are
It'll
they
be
actually
live.
running the race today?
It'll be running today. Yeah. It was like rain. Like that rained, and then they dried the track, started the race, rained, and they go, too much rain. We'll see you tomorrow.
Where is this race?
Michigan.
Oh,
Michigan International Speedway.
Okay. All right.
Which
So
don't ask me where it is in Michigan. It's somewhere in the peninsula there.
That the state is good enough. You could tell me, and it would be Michigan, and I would. If you said Ohio, I would know. If you said Michigan, I don't know.
I do like the way Michiganders, I guess, is that what they call themselves? Michiganders. They like hold their hand up.
Yes.
You know, and then they go, oh, we're here, or we're gonna go down here, or we're up here, and we gotta go down. You know, so when I was there, I remember one of my last comedy tours. I was up there for like almost 3 weeks in December, which was crazy because it was snowing and all the things I hate about the North. But I made some good money during those 3 weeks, so I took the gig anyway.
Right.
And traveled up and down that damn peninsula. You know, one night they even are telling people, don't go out on the roads. There is, you know, like, so I called the booker and say, hey,
right,
I'm watching the news. Am I supposed to? Because they put me in one hotel, like in the middle of the state.
Right.
And so for 3 weeks, I was driving every which way, and then I'd come back to the hotel. Sometimes it was like all the way up to the northern part of the state or something. They'd have a room for me to stay.
Right.
But normally I stayed in the same hotel for like 3 weeks.
Ooh.
So I called and said, hey, the weatherman, you know, saying I should go out on the roads. Are we having a show tonight, or is it canceled?
Of course you're having a show.
That's exactly. He goes, you're in Michigan now. Of course we're having a snow. These people go out in weather like this.
Right.
I'm going, okay. So I get in my little Yaris, because that's what I'm driving back then.
Oh, great.
You know, I went through a couple stop signs, not because I wanted to. It's just because
you were skating.
I slid right across the stop sign.
Right.
So I'm going to this gig going, oh my God, I'm going to die before I even get there. There's not going to be anybody there.
Right.
I show up. It's a sellout. Over 200 people.
Look at you.
I'm going, you got to be kidding me. I remember my very first joke. I go, people, there's ice on the road. I'm from Florida. The only time we use ice is in our drinks.
That's right. In our bourbon. Yes, I know. Oh my God.
Oh
yeah, no, I remember. Believe me, ugly memories of Ohio are flooding back.
Well, I called there's no way we're having a show.
Right.
No, they're having a show. On TV, they're saying stay off the roads. They're not safe. There'll be people there. I go, are you sure there'll be any? Oh, yeah, there'll be people there.
200 people. Sellout crowd.
Not a seat to be had.
That's how popular you were. Think of it that way. BJ Odom was so popular that people braved the snow and the sleet and the winds and the hail and just to go see, because they had to see BJ Odom. I mean, come on.
I will admit, I was the headliner.
Headliner.
And it wasn't Thursday night. Yeah, I headlined the whole 3 weeks. Well, you think I'd go to Michigan in December if I wasn't headlining the shows?
I wouldn't go to Michigan in December if I was the headliner of I don't, whatever. I mean, it'd have to be substantial amount of money.
It wasn't substantial, but it was for an old radio guy. It was
it was okay. I hear you. Yeah, that's great.
I don't think Jay Leno would have done it, but hey, BJ Odom's going to go out and, hey, I'll grab those dollars.
Sure. Jay Leno. All right. So here we are talking about snow, and it's August in Florida. So go figure. We'll go figure. So anyway.
We're worried about the next hurricane.
Yeah, we're worried. Yeah, well. So there you go. So anyway.
Last week when we recorded our show, the hurricane was coming.
Did you guys have any kind of damage in your neighborhood?
No, just rain.
Yeah, we had rain. We had my usual walk. I don't walk every night, but when I do, I take the same little path. It's about 2 miles through the neighborhood, and I saw two trees that had been like one of them lost a big chunk of and you can tell when you look at and another tree was down completely, but you can tell when you look at them, it's like, oh wait, they were totally like rotten on the inside. That tree was going to come down soon anyway. So, Mother Nature just gave it a little push and over it went. So, but that was it. I mean, no damage or anything like that. It was, except for like, a couple of raccoons lost their house. So
but you're not too far from where it kind of came in at. It's a little north of you yet, but
yeah.
So, I mean, there was some flooding and some stuff going on there. Wasn't good for people.
Right. The funny thing, not funny, it's not funny if you lived through it. The weird thing was where I used to live in Sarasota got hit hard. And I saw some video from the local TV, somebody mentioned it on Facebook, and I went and I looked at the local TV station down there video. And the weird thing was that there was flooding in places that never, ever got flooding in the past. Like inside, if you're in Florida, like it's like the highways, I-75 runs down the West Coast, I-77 down, or I-90 rather, down the East Coast. And this was on the inside of I-75. Normally it's out by the beaches that all get the flooding. This was on the other side of I-75. So on the, what you would think would be like interior of the state. Anyway, long story short, weird flooding in Sarasota. Not so much. I'm in Gainesville. This is like one of the highest spots. This is one of the highest, quote unquote, highest spots in Florida. I think my elevation is like 115 feet. Ooh, boy, there's not going to be any flooding here.
You have a college there. There's going to be a lot of high spots and a lot of high people.
Yes, there are a lot of high places here in Gainesville. That is for sure. But it's a little different high. It's a little different. Yeah. Okay. All right, fine, whatever.
Well,
we've been rambling for 10 minutes now about weather and NASCAR and all that stuff.
So but I want to talk to you about one of the good things about hurricanes.
Wait, what? There's a good thing about a hurricane? Go ahead.
If you found this, of course, I guess you could go to jail, but you could make a lot of money also. More than $1.6 million worth of cocaine washed up on Florida beaches during the Hurricane Debbie, authorities say.
I thought those days were over. I remember when we lived in Southwest Florida way, way back in the 80s, that bales of marijuana would occasionally wash up on the beach. But really?
Yeah,
cocaine, you say?
You don't get bales of cocaine.
No.
I think you would just be walking on the beach going, oh, look, dear, the sand here is awfully white.
and those seagulls stumbling around.
I mean, what would happen? Like, do you get a reward if you find it and you turn it in?
You definitely get a negative reward if you don't turn it in.
And what do you do? Like, I would be a little nervous if I had like $1.6 million worth of cocaine and go to the police station and
right.
Hello, officer.
Yeah, hello.
I found this.
Would
you want to take it off my hands?
Come inside, Mr. Odom. We have a few questions for you.
Yeah, I remember that though. Yeah, back in the day.
Oh man,
I never got lucky to find one.
No,
but yeah, they said those bales of marijuana would just wash up on the shores
on Sanibel. Yeah. Someday our old friends, my old friends, the Tuttles of Sanibel, Bob Tuttle of Tuttles of Sanibel, the gift shop there down at the lighthouse, still there after all these years. Yes, folks, survived the hurricane. Yeah, he told stories of that many times because he lived on Sanibel when it was nothing, when it was like when it was a little itty bitty, like, fishing shack town kind of a thing. And the bales of marijuana would wash up on the beach. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, I knew somebody who had a place there, right? It was kind of a shack, but it was like right on the Gulf. I mean, it was, you were thinking Sanibel Island, right on the water. My God, this guy must be a millionaire.
Yeah, he is now.
I think he said, well, yeah, if he sold it, but I think he said his great grandmother bought it originally for like $500 or three.
Right.
I don't know. It was an unbelievable money. And then you would think what it was probably even worth back then. I'm going, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But it was
all of Southwest Florida was like that. I mean, it boggles the mind to think of how out of the way Southwest Florida was not even that long ago, back in the 60s and 70s.
well, okay. I came to Florida in the 80s.
Right.
And my dad owned a place. It wasn't right on the Estero River, but it had access to the Estero River. He had a boat ramp down there, that he kept his boat on. And,
Sure.
it was his, basically, he had a trailer. I'm talking a trailer in a development, that had access. And, you could have a boat dock down there, which, it was yours and you had access to it. And when he passed away, my stupid brother and stupid me said, well, we're never going to use it. Let's just sell it. And I forget what it was sold for.
Oh boy.
But if I could have that today, I would be the happiest. Of course, it probably floods all the time during hurricanes.
Well, and it's probably in the middle of some golf course community now that would have sold for $1 million or something because they probably built a whole gated community in the area. Yeah, I get it. But yeah,
boy, what I wouldn't give to have that piece of property today.
I tell people when I move, and you and I moved to Southwest Florida at about the same time, but a couple of old guys talking about, I remember when there was, there was a time when I-75 stopped in Fort Myers and you had to get off, go over to 41, drive down to Naples. No.
I remember when I-75 stopped in Tampa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's when, but then I was coming down with my parents and I was a child, but.
Oh, well, that was before your time and mine. That was before BJ and Bill moved to Southwest Florida.
Yeah. Yes, but there was a time where you could not get to, Fort Myers all the way on I-75. You had to get on 41 all the way up in Tampa.
That was definitely before my time, but yeah, I know not a lot before my time. Anyway, all right, there we go. Boy, oh boy, ancient history and weather and all kinds of boring stuff today. Whatever. Hopefully the show.
You know what? To the young children, this is all educational.
Is that what we call it? Educational?
Yeah,
yes.
This history. Is an educational podcast. I just want to let the boys and girls know that if you listen to this podcast, you can get very, very educated.
Okay, Grandpa. Okay, Boomer.
Welcome to the Professor BJ and Professor Bill's show.
In today's class, boys and girls,
we'll tell you what property used to cost.
Oh man, we have become our parents, haven't we? Isn't that? I mean, those commercials. Is it? Who is it? Is it Geico or is it? No, it's some other commercial where it's like
company,
where somebody is. The counselor, he's kind of like a Dr. Phil kind of a guy, preventing young people from becoming their parents. Yeah, those commercials are hilarious. And the new one, and we would have qualified for it just now. We would have qualified for it. It's all about talking about the weather. and these young people, and again, I say young people, they're 30s and 40s, looking out the window, talking about the weather. Oh boy, looks like more than a 20% chance of showers to me. Oh my God, boomers, stop it now. They're not even boomers, whatever they are. I don't know, but that's us. We are those people. Oh my God.
But it's really funny though, because I remember, here's another,
here we go. I remember.
Here's another educational moment here, children.
Poison squirrels.
I remember when I was like around 25, 30 years old, maybe even get close to 40, my dad would do some really stupid things. I was, oh my God, my dad is so embarrassing. And now I put him to shame now.
I know. It's awful. God bless you, Dad. We're both dads. We know both dads are looking down at us right now, laughing their butts off because I do that all the time. I would think, oh my God, my father used to say that, or oh my God, my father would do something like that. And I'm like, yep, here I am. I am that guy. So,
kids, just know that you will become your parents.
I know, right? And they don't, nobody thinks that. Nobody. I know I didn't think, and I'm sure you didn't think it. And I guarantee young people, and what do we mean? What do we mean, young people? I don't know. How old are your grandkids now, BJ Odom? How old is your oldest grandkid?
17 and 21.
If you were to tell your 17 and your 21-year-old grandkids, hey, sooner than you know, it happens so fast. You will be right here where your grandfather is sitting right now, bitching about the weather and talking about, I remember when, and you will be that person. And they will go, oh, no way, Grandpa. And it is as sure as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, it will happen. It will happen. And you will go, oh my God, he was right all those years ago. I know it's both funny and depressing.
Well, that's like, I remember, like my dad, when he started getting to be my age.
Right.
And I'm in a car with him and I'm going, oh my God, I should be driving. There's no way my dad should be, but Dad, stop. There's a brake for a reason. And, you should have been braking like, maybe like, back there somewhere.
Yes.
And now, like, okay, a couple weeks ago, I took my daughter and her boyfriend. We all went to SeaWorld. I drove. She's going, Dad,
so she got to complain about Dad's driving. Oh,
I don't know if I should let you drive anymore or not. Like, but at least I'm not that guy who goes, what's wrong with I go, you're probably right.
Oh, okay. At least you admitted that you probably should not be behind the wheel. Of course, now you have this super cool new car that pretty much drives itself anyway, right?
This thing is like, let me just say, I think you, Bill Stevens, would probably do very well with this car.
Why is that?
Because it's so technically advanced.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I open the app? What do I do here?
Right.
It's got everything that I don't know how to do, because I didn't know how to drive the car, but you got to know a million other things about the computer before you even drive the car.
Pretty much true. I mean, if you don't have a smartphone and know how to use it and all the apps that come with it, and then you get into the car and it looks like a computer as well, it's like, if I were to put, my mother drove right into her probably 80s, which is scary as hell. But if you were to put like my mother in a car like that, she'd be lost. She, okay, I see that there's a gas pedal and a brake down there, even though it's not a gas pedal, it's an accelerator. She would be 110% lost. Absolutely, positively would not know how to drive the car. So, and I think about that with like you and I. All right, we've seen a little bit of transition, but you know what? In another 10 years, where's this going to be? We're going to be those people. We're going to be those people to go, I can get in the car. I can see what it looks like it should do, but I have no freaking idea what I'm supposed to do here.
Oh, I have now, since about a week and a half, owned a new car.
Mm-hmm.
I have spent about a week and a half watching YouTube videos on how to operate my sewed car.
Right.
And I'm learning something every day, which is good.
Good.
But I have not even come close to breaking the surface.
No.
This regenerating, or whatever it's called, braking.
Right.
With the little paddles, you have little paddles that's supposed to brake your car. And it's like, I don't want to do this. There's a thing called the brake. I like to push it down and stop. I like to push the accelerator or whatever the hell you call it and go forward.
You can call it a gas pedal. We'll let you get away with that. It's okay. Even though there's no gas. But I get it. I totally get it. What are you supposed to Well, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to learn and grow and change with the times. That's what they tell us, right? Good luck with that, old people.
Well,
And I'm looking at both of us.
Like I'm telling you that before we went on the air, I'm saying, man, alive, I can open this app. I can tell you how many miles I have on my car. It's 264 miles I have on my car. I can tell you how far I can go on my car. I can tell you, I can actually start my car and turn on the air conditioning right here. Right. I could do it right now if I wanted to.
Sure, you could.
And I could open the garage door from this phone and I could back my car out into the driveway.
Without getting out of the chair that you are in right now. Yes, all of the above.
That is so freaking scary.
It is scary.
No one, my daughter doesn't trust me when I'm behind the wheel. Can you imagine her trusting me driving my car outside the garage with my phone?
Gotta be honest, I wouldn't trust you either.
Oh, wait a minute. I put it out in the driveway, but I forgot to open the garage door.
Oh, yeah. Well, the garage door is now open whether you wanted it to be or not. Now, the good news is I think the car is smarter than you are and will see that the garage door is closed and will probably beep at you or do something to tell you, hey, we're not doing this. The garage door is closed, you big dummy. So anyway.
You should have seen us like day 3 in this car.
Day 3.
The wife and I are backing out of the garage.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it's beeping. What's going on? What am I doing wrong?
Right.
Oh, it looks like a door is ajar. So we finally got that. And then we started to go forward. And it was showing me the rear of my car and a camera. And I'm going, we're not going backwards. We're going forwards. Why am I seeing what's behind me?
Really? That's weird.
I never did figure that out yet.
Did it change? Did it eventually changed. Go? Oh, okay.
Yeah. After we got about 100 yards or so.
Oh, okay. Down, okay.
It went away. Decided we're going forward now. We're not going backwards.
And that's the scary part. That's part of the scary part. That's a bit of it, is that the technology ain't perfect yet. That it's like you might just have the backup camera on for no apparent reason and the car thinks you're going backwards or something like that. I know that like my friend has the same one. It's 2 years or it's a year older than yours or 2 years. I don't know. But yeah, it has sensors all around. So when she's pulling into her garage, it starts to beep a little bit when it gets close to the wall, and then it beeps more, and then it beep, 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 beep. And then it's like, okay, we're right there. So yeah, no more hanging tennis balls from the roof of the garage. No more hanging a tennis ball that when it bonks into the windshield of the car, oh, okay, I've gone in far enough. No, the car knows exactly where it is.
That's why I have the mats on the floor. It tells me where to put my golf cart.
Right. Tells you that the golf cart goes right here.
The wheels go on the mats. And when you get to the mats, you can turn off the golf cart.
There you go. See all these little things, all these little hacks, these life hacks for modern living. Life hacks for modern living. That if that's not a YouTube channel, I don't know what should be. But yeah, it's like, where do you position the mat on the garage floor? Where do you, like in my kitchen, I have everything set up to make my coffee properly in the morning. I have the coffee and the coffee grinder and the cream and the, it's all how you systematize things to try to make it work properly. I think I could.
Well, that's like, and I've told people on the podcast, but I still haven't put it on Facebook because I don't want people to hound me because it's a political issue, which is stupid as hell. But I have an electric car.
Right.
So I can stand outside my car and I want to do it. My wife says, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. I go, we got to try.
What's that?
I want to, because the car can actually back in to my garage on its own.
Yes.
I want it to back in because my charger for my is towards the wall.
Yes.
I can stretch it all the way out, but I'm stretching it all the way out. So I just want to back it in, but someone in my house has a lot of stuff. And so like there's stuff on one side of the garage and we got the golf cart and the other stuff. And it's a little narrow path where I can like do that little narrow path. No problem. Pulling him forward. But I don't know about but I got the backup camera now.
Right.
See, I used to have, and I will talk, here's how old I am. I had, I still have it. I have one of those little, mobility scooters.
Right.
And we have a trailer, or not a trailer, but a lift on the back of our car.
Right.
Which always in our old car, it wouldn't let you see the backup camera.
Oh, it blocked the view?
It blocked the backup camera.
Okay.
So this one, we haven't put it on yet. And I'm telling my wife, you know what? I think I'm just going to walk when we go to the parks. I just won't go as far into the park as I used to go.
Okay.
And so I don't want to really put the lift on the back of the car. So now I have a good camera view as I would try to back, but I haven't done that yet.
What a modern day dilemma here to put the lift on the car or not, to see the backup camera or not, whatever. Yes. Now you don't really have a charger. You just have an extension cord that runs from one plug to the other side, right? Because you didn't put a charger in your house yet.
No,
a level 2.
But a level 2 is coming tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, because charging your car from the regular plug, that's
here's why I'm doing it.
Okay.
Again, and I hear her dilemma. She goes, I don't want to have to take you to Tampa General Hospital in the middle of the night and it still be charging or not have a really good charge. So I figure, level 2, no more than we drive, we can have that thing completely charged in 2 or 3 hours.
I thought of that too. So good for your wife, good for Miss Susan there thinking of that stuff, because I thought of that too. It's like, what if you had been driving all day and you plug it into the wall and it's got another 24 hours to charge, but BJ's got to go visit a doctor somewhere. Yeah. That's important. So good thinking all around. Good thing.
So it's kind of like insurance. If you don't need it, it's like a big waste, but it's a peace of mind. So the same thing. I'm buying the level 2 charger for home.
Right.
For, peace of mind.
And it's not a ton of money and it will make your life so much easier. So
it's just a few $100s.
Yeah. No big deal. Deal. All right.
So, and then I got a guy coming to put a special little plug in.
Yep.
Because you got to have like a dryer plug, and we don't have a dryer plug.
Runs on the 220. Yep. All good.
Because our dryer is actually in the house. It's not in the garage.
I understand. All right. I'm glad we figured all of that out. I'm glad we've got through the first half hour of 2 old men ranting about nothing. So
what are we going to rant about next?
I don't know. What will we rant about next? But we're going to find out in just a few seconds. Stand by. We will be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast where you can give us that 5-star review. We would appreciate the heck out of it. Wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you do your podding, that's with a D, P-O-D-D, podding. Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio. We are everywhere. So a 5-star review would be great. If you want to stop by, post a memory or a joke or tell us how crazy we're being, feel free to stop by the Facebook page. Just do a search, BJ and Bill podcast, at your favorite Facebook page, and you will find us. There you go. I need
you to do something, Mr. Computer Guy.
I'm listening.
I need you to go on because I don't know, and maybe you know how to do this, because I don't think that anybody, I don't know. I don't think anybody just randomly, it's not like a VP or whatever of our Facebook page, can actually just post stuff. I think you can post on post, but I don't know if you can actually,
I'll have to check on that.
Yeah, check on that.
Did you create the Facebook page, or did Podcast Playground create that?
It was me, and I'm not. I've told you about me not being the most computer savage person.
Well, that's okay. I'm trying to remember, did you make me an administrator
Yeah,
of the
you're an
page? And I think you
administrator.
did. Yeah, I'll check on it. All right.
You and Jay are both administrators.
Administrators. I need to talk to our buddy Jay and make sure because my new podcast is finally dropped. The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth with Bill Stevens and Vicki Wagner, is on the air. And I want to make sure it's also getting out to Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff. So yay.
Now, I will tell you this.
Uh-oh.
Once that mine was made and put on the little server thing or whatever,
On the Podcast Playground website.
it took about 2 weeks for it to actually show up on all the various platforms.
Okay.
And some takes a little longer than others, and some are much quicker.
Right.
So it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get up on everything that they submit it to.
Little inside radio there, but okay, good to know. Thank you for that. So anyway.
So just to let you know.
Thanks.
Now, I have a question for you. We're going to do a little segment called Get to Know Bill a Little Better.
We don't know enough?
Nope, they don't know enough. They want to know more, Bill.
Inquiring minds want to know. Try me.
So you said you went to make coffee when we took our little break.
I went to refill my coffee cup. Yes.
So you are one of those people then in the morning, you make a pot of coffee.
Yes. Yes, I do.
How many cups will you have from that pot of
Two.
coffee? Two.
Two.
Okay,
But
now let me
they
ask
are
you the
gigantic.
now let me ask you the next question.
Yes.
And I think this is very important because I don't know how anyone does it, but maybe I should try it someday. And then I'll say, this is pretty damn good.
Okay.
Hot or ice?
Always hot. Always
Yep.
hot.
My wife, it's every once in a while hot, but 90% of the time it's ice for her.
Even at home?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she makes it herself because
I understand.
We don't use the pot.
Right.
We have the K-cups.
Oh, okay.
And
so
so
you actually what? She makes a cup of coffee and just lets it go cold?
no, she makes like a cup of coffee and then she takes like a big cup of ice, pours the cup of coffee in the ice.
Yeah.
And makes her ice. Well, every once in a while she will like.
I get it, but that to me, that sounds like you're making coffee into something that's barely tasteable as coffee. I mean, doesn't that just thin it out to the point of being no good? I mean, I don't know. I don't drink iced coffee, so.
Yeah, see, I don't either, but I need to try it just to find out what it's like. But I don't like coffee. I mean, every once in a while, I like a nice hot cup of coffee. But now I will say this, I can drink green tea, which I'm not drinking today.
Right.
I'm drinking my, my Armor All today.
It's not Armor All, but if kids don't drink Armor All.
It is. It's body armor. I'm sorry.
Body armor. Yes, it's different. It's a big difference.
So I'm drinking my body armor today.
Good.
But I usually drink, if I'm going to have caffeine, I usually drink green tea. And because if I drink like a cup of coffee in the morning,
right,
my heart rate will go up. I'll get a little jittery.
Right.
Now, if I drink green tea, I don't really notice anything.
Okay.
If I drink black tea, my heart rate goes up a little bit and I feel a little jittery.
Well, I'm
but
sure
if I drink coffee,
levels.
it's full
high octane. High octane. Yeah. And I've had coffee for so long, for so many years that now it's funny. I mean, I do want the people at home to know, because I could show you this, but you wouldn't know, obviously. This is one of my 2 cups of coffee. So, it is a pot of coffee. I drink a pot of coffee in the morning. And here I am still drinking it now as we record this podcast. It's just after 11 o'clock in the morning. So I am sometimes concerned about, am I drinking coffee too late in the day? Like, cause I'll still 1 o'clock in the afternoon, if I snooze in or, don't get started in the morning until later and have coffee later in the day, I am wondering if it's affecting my sleep the next night. So I do wonder about that sometimes. I don't think it's enough to make me give up coffee because I just love it so much.
I can't drink coffee. I don't even really drink green tea like after 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon
Yeah, no.
because it does affect me at night. Now, my
Yeah.
sister-in-law
Sister-in-law.
and my brother, when he was still alive, we could be hanging out with them at 11 o'clock at night saying we're going to bed in another 5 minutes. And they're having their last cup of coffee for the night.
Mm-hmm.
And they would sleep through the night.
Okay. Yeah.
How they do that. I can't even drink. Not that I drink them anymore anyway, but if I do, like Coke, you give me a Coke even after like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon,
Right.
I'm not going to sleep at night.
Right. I get that. I do. And I'm mindful of it, but I could probably be more mindful of it. Yeah. And you and I have been drinking. I think we both drink it. Maybe not. Do you have that? Well, you're having your body armor stuff. I even have the little sticker, the little element, the stuff, the little potassium and magnesium supplement thing. And they make one that's kind of chocolatey tasting, which is pretty good. It's kind of salty still, but it's yummy. And so that's what I'll have at night. There's no caffeine in it. There's no nothing. And it's a good magnesium, helps you sleep. So I hear as an old person. So I'll have that in the evening and that's fine. I'm good with that. So anyway,
You've just told me something that I might want to switch up.
What's that?
Magnesium helps you sleep at night?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Huge.
Okay.
Look it up.
I don't know, but because of some of the medicines I have, and I don't understand which ones or why, they have me taking magnesium. I should switch up my magnesium and take it at night. I take it in the morning.
Well,
now
obviously, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV, but you might want to talk to your doctor because we know you have a team. I
ain't got no doctor. I got a team of doctors. Hey, I got a doctor for this. I got a doctor for that.
Yep. And ask them because I mean, if you go to YouTube and put in like magnesium supplements or whatever, what's it good for and all that, that's a thing. That's a real thing. So yeah.
Because I don't know, lately I have not slept with crap. But I hear that's an old people thing too.
It is an old people thing. I slept really well last night, but again, but here's an interesting thing now. And I was going to ask BJ Odom, but we know how much exercise BJ Odom doesn't get. So you may not have an opinion on this, but I was talking to one of the guys, one of the older gentlemen playing tennis next to me playing pickleball the other night about, I don't know how we got on that subject, but he said, I can't be exercising late at night, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I can't be playing tennis at 9 o'clock at night because I won't sleep. My body will be jacked up and I won't sleep. And I thought, well, that's weird because if I play tennis or play pickleball at night and I get home and I'm dog tired, I think I sleep better because my body is tired. And it's like, oh, okay, we get to sleep now. So anyway, any opinions on exercise and sleep at the time of day?
Well, I'll tell you this, and I have learned this over the years, having all the medical problems that I've had. And I've had doctors even tell me this, okay? Like, I got a heart transplant. And so when you're going to get something like that, you usually say, hey, doc,
right?
What's like all my odds? What's, the over under, and all the other things you ask when you are going to have a major surgery like that. And I think I heard one of the most, I don't know, I've heard this a couple times from my coordinator in Tampa. She said that everybody, and of course we know that because, we all have different DNA and we all have, different things going on with us.
Right.
She says you can have 1,000 heart transplants and no two people will ever do the same thing. They can,
believe that.
You can be on the same medicines, you can have,
sure,
but everybody's body chemical makeup is different, which means no matter what happens in life, whether it be an illness, like even cancer or the common cold or anything, even vaccines.
Right.
They will always work different in each individual because we are all individually made, and our chemistry, even though it's somewhat the same,
Right. It would have to be.
but it's not. There
Right.
are so
It's
many
different
factors.
enough that everybody. Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's enough factors and so many differences in each person's body that they
Right.
handle different drugs differently. They handle different, And so she told me there's never, ever two cases that are the same.
I believe that. I absolutely believe that. Of course, there has to be some similarities, or the drugs, the vaccines, the supplements, the vitamins wouldn't work. So there has to be some things that are like, oh, this is generally good for people. This is generally not good for. I get it, but you're right. You're so right. I mean, and I've seen that. I've experienced that again this past week. I've experienced an example of that in that a friend of mine, not as old as you and I, BJ Odom, but probably young 60s, has been told they need a knee replacement. It's like kind of grinding bone on bone kind of a thing. One of the folks in our seniors group or whatever, knee replacement. And I'm thinking, that person gets exercise. They're not overweight. They're not carrying a ton of weight. They're not whatever. And yet they've been told for whatever reasons. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that always blows me away for some reason. I mean, I remember when my ex told me, and this was 5 years ago, I just happened to be talking to my ex, and she had a hip replacement. And I'm like, good God, I'm 60 years old. I'm in the upper half of the 60s. I'm not replacing any parts. Am I missing something? Am I living with pain that I didn't know I had? Or am I just very blessed or taking care of myself? So I choose that one. I choose that option, that I'm blessed and taking care of myself. But I recognize that everybody's different. Everybody has their own little journey. Everybody has their own whatever. And it's just weird. It's just weird to me. Another one of those things about getting old that's weird. I don't know.
Let's just, this is how weird bodies and chemistry and bodies are.
Right.
You can have two people. They're in their, they're in their 20s.
Right.
They both go to the bar every night. Maybe they have 3 or 4 cocktails.
Right.
One maybe will become an alcoholic. The one who's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Will not. Again, ask yourself why.
Well, I think I have a reason, not reason. I think I have a theory on that, because alcohol, I mean, and I'm not an expert, so don't quote me, and do not post nasty crap about what I'm saying on our Facebook page, because I just don't know. But my brother had difficulties with alcohol his whole life. So I have a little bit of experience with alcoholism, and I hate to use that word because it carries a lot of baggage with it. But I think that that's a disease, something that's like, some people are more susceptible to that than others. Again, don't quote me. I'm not a doctor, but I think, anyway, I don't know. You're right, though. You're right. You're totally right. Alcohol can have different effects on different people, just like and it's a drug. Alcohol is a drug, just like anything else you put into your body. So it's going to have different effects for different people. I don't know how we got off on this all of a sudden.
I don't know, but just to wrap it up. Thing,
please.
Let's just say something good like penicillin for some. Penicillin can work wonders for some people.
Right.
And other people can take penicillin and they're totally allergic.
Right.
And they can't. So, I think, like I said, as going back to my beginning point,
right,
everybody's body makeup
is different.
Yeah. And so as my doctors have told me, okay, you're going to get a kidney. No two people that ever get a kidney transplant, it's the same. No two people with a heart transplant.
Right.
It's not the same. Same with cancer. Same with anything else, really, when you look at it.
And you've
Why
had all of that. So where the hell are you?
But why do some people
Right.
that get it, get infected with some things, can't even make it through, and other people, make it out and go on beyond? I mean,
No, you're so right. You are so totally right. And I mean, good God, we can't even bring up that sickness that kept us all indoors and out of our jobs a couple of years ago that went around. Some people, I talked to an old college roommate buddy of mine in Texas. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital with that disease. I had it. It felt like a bad cold and I was done with it in 4 days. What the hell? What's the difference? I look at him and my old friend, my old college roommate buddy, he was always in great shape and he still is. As far as I know, we talk once in a while. I'm not in that great a shape. And yet my body had a completely different reaction to the same quote unquote disease as he had.
Although they did give me good drugs. But with a transplant, I have a very low immune system.
Right.
I've had it a couple times. Well, 3 times now.
Really?
And no time that I've ever had it. Now I got pneumonia and I was in the hospital with that for almost 3 weeks. Oof. And there was times I was in the hospital thinking, you know what? I don't think this might be the time that I'm not going to walk out.
This might be checkout time.
Yeah, this might be it. But each time that I had COVID, one time I really felt bad. The 2 other times I didn't. But like I said, they gave me some pretty good drugs once they found out I had it too.
Right.
But I have never been not even near how I felt when I had the pneumonia.
I understand. And again, so we've just spent the last 10 minutes proving your point, which is everybody reacts to different stuff in very different ways. So so what's the bottom line? I mean, know what works for you, or at least take your best guess as to what works best for you and your body and do more of that.
Now, I will say this.
Uh-oh.
This is where my philosophy is going to come in, and I will share it with everyone.
We're listening.
And you know me, and you know how I respond to things a lot, right?
Sure, of course.
So I'll tell you, and I've had medical problems diagnosed when I was 22 months old.
Right.
And it's went my entire life.
You're literally your entire life.
And I believe that if I did not have this gift, I would have not made it through.
And what gift is that?
My sense of humor, my making a joke of it, my positive attitude about it.
Yes.
I think I could have had the same things wrong with me my entire life. And if I would have had a bad attitude, and if I would have gotten depressed and really down in the dumps and felt like, I'm done. I gotta get a heart. I've got to put another heart in my. I think if I would have ever had a negative, I didn't punch my way through,
right,
and feel positive and joke and use humor, I don't think I would be here today.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
That's what I have one more comment to make. Excuse me.
Okay.
Came from the peanut gallery.
Oh, we didn't hear it here, so go ahead. Please repeat.
And your wife.
Of course. Of course. Yes to both of those. In fact, on the other podcast, on Bill and Vicky's podcast, we talk often and in positive terms about laughter is the best medicine. And it's a cliche and you've heard it forever, and yet it is so damn true. So true that if you can laugh about it, if you can find positivity, if you can find optimism, if you can find humor, it makes such a huge difference. And you're living proof of that. I mean, you are literally living capital L proof, capital P of that. Because yes, you have used humor and your wife to get you through your entire life of what some people would probably roll over and frankly, check out of that sort of thing. So yes, good for you. What a great lesson. What a great, whatever, learning, teaching moment, as you said. But it's true. It is so true. So good
And don't
for
get
you.
me wrong. There are those days that I get down and think, oh man,
Absolutely.
is it all really worth it? I bet, here I got this skin cancer cut off last week.
Sure.
I got to go get this week. And then next week I got to go get this. And then it's all over and we start the whole rotation, but I do everything I can when I do get there. Cause I do get there, people.
Sure.
But I do everything I can to fight my way out again.
Absolutely. No, and again, I'm not trying to plug the other podcast, but again, that's something that I talk about with our friend Vicky, who's done a ton of, what would you call it, life coaching or something for people and stuff like that. That yes, you're allowed to feel like crap when you feel like crap. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm having a heart transplant. It's going to be fabulous. Well, I mean, you could say that. I feel like crap. It's going to be great. No, I feel like crap. I'm allowed to feel like crap for as long as it takes. But I still agree with you. I still think you are so spot on with this, that there's still an overarching bigger sense of optimism and enjoying life and all of that stuff that you've done since I've known you, and I've known you longer than just about anybody.
Yep. I guess the only person that's
your
got
family,
you
of
beat.
course.
No, wait, maybe my wife does have me beat. I mean, have you beat? I don't know.
Yeah, she does. Of course she does. Yeah.
I don't know.
Not by much.
Not by much. Yeah.
Not by much. But yeah, but okay. It doesn't matter who's known you longer, but I get it. The point is, the point is that those of us who know you know that you bring that to the experience of life, that you're going to have fun. You're going to be positive. You're going to, make a few jokes about it. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's been one of the things that has absolutely positively kept you alive.
I did it, people. I did it.
I did it. I made it. I passed.
Now, hopefully,
in the immortal words,
for another few years.
In the immortal words of what's his name from The Doors, Jim Morrison of The Doors, nobody here gets out alive. Nobody. So eventually we all, face our maker or face the final curtain or whatever cliche you prefer. But still, while you're here, enjoy it. Have fun. Because at the end of the day, that's all there is. That's awesome. Good for you.
I think I could live another 20, 30 years if we just take religion and politics out of life.
I think you're so right. I think you're so right. I'm just going to go live on a mountain somewhere and just not even be a guru. I don't want to be a guru. I ain't living in no cave. I still need my Wi-Fi and my high-speed internet and my ribeye steaks. I still need that. But I'm still just going to go live on a mountain somewhere and just, live out there with the critters. I love that.
So the moral of the story, boys and girls, listen to this podcast and be educated.
Unbelievable that we've made such a complete full circle of starting out bitching about cold weather in Michigan, and here we are giving you the meaning of life. So
maybe we should contact Jay and say, instead of entertainment, maybe we should make our podcast and put it into the educational realm of
That's
life.
Right, doggone it. That's it. Life coaching. We're available for life coach. But if you'd like to hire BJ and Bill to come to your group and talk about life coaching or give you an inspirational speech, reach out to our agent. Oh, wait, that's us. Reach out to us and we'll be happy to book your next convention. We are available.
The guest speakers are this BJ and Bill. No, I never heard of them either.
Never heard of them.
I don't know either, but
never heard of them.
They're our keynote speaker.
Two old men from Florida. I don't know. Yeah, boy, that really narrows it down. Two old guys from Florida. Yeah, no. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea. If you want us to come do your keynote keynote address for your convention, we are available. Somewhere in the low six figures.
Harvard graduates, we are BJ and Bill.
Harvard graduates. Yeah, that'll be the day. Two white males talking to a Ivy League college. I don't think so. But before I open up that whole can of worms, I think we're gonna bring this thing into a close.
I was gonna say the only Ivy I ever had was poison ivy. And it was
me
a
too.
Bitch, let me tell you, right?
Yeah, me too. It was terrible. It was terrible. All right. Well, BJ Odom, this has been such a great show. I mean, at least the last 30 minutes have been such a great show that this one could go down as one of the greats of all time. I'm telling you, it really has. The life lessons here are things that you would pay a shrink thousands of dollars to learn, and you got it for free in 30 minutes on this podcast. So, wow.
I'll do like Soupy Sales did. Boys and girls, just have your parents send us $100. Well, what did $1, wasn't it?
Was it? Go find those green slips of paper, put it in an envelope, mail it to us.
Send it to Soupy Sales.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Boy, you are setting the Wayback Machine to our childhood. So
yeah.
Yikes.
That's even before my childhood, I think.
I think you're right. Good golly. All right. Before we go off another deep end, let's bring this one home. Good God. Great stuff. Great stuff, sir. I appreciate it as always. And last thoughts.
I think I've thought out for the day.
I think you are thought out for the day. All right, everybody.
I have to go to the grocery store today. That's going to be my big entertainment.
I'm just going to finish on this. I think it was Armageddon. I went to Sam's Club over the weekend. They had no eggs. No eggs. I mean, normally they have skids full of them. No eggs. I'm going to go to Sam's Club again today.
I think those cageless chickens got out because they said, we're cageless. Let's go. We don't have to make eggs ever again.
They escaped. All right, everybody. Have yourself a great week. Go to the grocery store if you have to. But remember, laughter is the best medicine. Absolutely, positively. And until next week, have a great week. We will be back then, of course. But until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.